Solve mysteries. Dream created this series, I don't know, a year or two ago, and since then it's been blowing off the charts. Now, I wouldn't call this a rebuttal because I've been planning to make a series like his for all the questions that I had, and what I feel like other people would have, but this is kind of a rebuttal because he didn't really end on an exact conclusion, but I'm going to be stapling some of his conclusions which wouldn't work because of one little animal, the bee. Now, believe it or not, this animal is magnificent and came out 10 days before Dream's video, which I believe that is why he didn't name a lot of points about this animal, because it had just been put into Minecraft. Now, let's start from the beginning. And let's get into this. 10th, 2019, the bee was added. The cute little creature is beautiful. It flies around, it sucks flowers, but here's the problem with the bee. When Dream made his video about sharks, he talked about a few things. One of his conclusions could have been that fancy E rating that Minecraft has, and also the fact of being endangered. But see, bees break this rule because they're endangered, and sadly, if I hit a bee, right now if I kill this bee because I'm in creative, nothing will happen. But let's go to the test room and see what happens. If I go into my fancy test room, I switch my game mode to survival. Then I spawn a bee and I hit it. It'll become aggro towards me and start attacking me. If I finish off the bee, it drops XP. Now, of course, XP isn't the best loot in the world, but XP is something. XP is some form of people can farm bees. People can use bees as an XP farm. So, why doesn't the shark E rating work? Because bees are here. Bees are such a magnificent creature in Minecraft because they break all the rules. It's not fantasy violent. Bees are the most real thing in possibly the entire game. They turn aggro when you swat at them. They're one of course. Now, I feel like this is the mystery of this. Bees are real. Bees shouldn't be in the game, technically, if Dream's theory is right. So I'm not saying, oh, this is a rebuttal, but it's kind of supporting my point of how amazing and weird these creatures have been added. Because Dream seems right. His evidence backs it. On both, and two of his reasonings are proved wrong because of a little bee. Now, a bee is an endangered species, which was one of the reasons that Dream said sharks wouldn't be added was because, well, they're endangered and they don't want people killing them. Well, bees are by honey, and if you get to their nest and try to get their honey, they attack you. Honey is a very valuable thing for redstone builds, for just building necessities. It's a huge thing now that it's been added. So this is what I'm confused about. If they care about the endangeredness of bees, then how is it that they added a creature who you have to steal the nest? You have to kill hundreds of them. You have to attack them to get some of the needed loot to build redstone builds. Not only that, but if we were trying to make sure that animals didn't attack back so that we would keep them away, well, bees attack back. And they're not useless either. I could kill 100 bees and I'd get a good amount of XP. That's the problem. It's just confusing. See, if the theory is right that they want to keep their E rating, then they violated it. If you look at the mob charts, well, I'll show you. All vile mobs are evil by source. We don't have a lot of examples of this. If I take a pillager and I spawn him, he's evil. He shoots at me the minute I see him. But the bees are passive aggressive, which I believe is the same with polar bears. So how are they keeping this fantasy violence if polar bears are in the game. If creatures can be attacked and attacked back. Polar bears give you fish. Now, I'm not saying that, oh, they need to take out polar bears. I'm just saying, if they're trying to teach people to stay away from endangered species, then why is it that if I go into survival here, hit a polar bear, he'll attack me. And then once I finish him, I'll get some nice fish. See, this is the problem. If they care about this fantasy thing, if they care about all of this, then why is it that I can spawn a polar bear, hit it, it attacks me, and then if I hit it again, I get fish. Food which can be very beneficial in Minecraft. So this is where bees come in. Bees, and I wouldn't really call bears because bees made me come to my senses all the time. See, polar bears are endangered too, but bees are a necessity for redstone build now. If you want to build a cool redstone door, you're not going to go and kill a polar bear. You're going to kill a bee so you can get a honey block. So this is what I'm confused. If they care about this nice E rating on Minecraft and they want their sales to go up, then why are they sacrificing this E rating, which if they don't want to add this hostile mob, or is there actually a bigger problem behind it? I think like this is weird because bees are endangered. Bees will always be endangered. If you ask Safari, are bees endangered? Well, guess what Safari would say? Spoiler alert, yes. It's everywhere how they've been an endangered species. There's so many of how bees are endangered and how they could go extinct. Now, why is it that a animal on the verge of extinction, unlike the polar bear, the person who is in trouble? Sharks aren't on the verge of extinction. Yet a bee gets added who's on the verge of extinction, polar bear, and they're both aggro-aggressive. I think that's the problem here. What's the bigger source behind the adding of mobs? And why won't we get a shark? Because a bee is a bee. If I search up a bee, I get a passive-aggressive mob. I shouldn't get a passive-aggressive mob. I shouldn't get a mob that I should have to kill so that I can build a fancy redstone door leading to my mega base. See, that's the big problem. That will always be the problem. How is it that they can add a bee and they can't add a shark? Well, it's pretty obvious. There's a bigger picture in here. They didn't just add bees so that, and they didn't realize that they were violating their own rules. No. See, bees, they knew what they were doing. I think that there's a bigger picture behind it. I think the control group is biased, and they just listen to what the creators say. They don't come up with their own ideas. I think that's why we haven't gotten a shark yet. I think something of the creators, the main guys in Minecraft, say we don't want sharks. And I think that's why we don't have them. But we have bees, so it's not because they're endangered. It's not because we don't want people attacking them. It's not because we want people staying away from them. Because Arctic explorations and scientist labs will tell you to stay away from the polar bears. No. It's because there's a deeper motivation. I don't know what that deeper motivation is. But I know one thing for sure. This is not because they care about endangered species. Because this little bee is one of the most endangered animals alive. And so is a polar bear. Yet, they won't add a shark. Because it's not about endangered species. They don't care about this E rating. They don't care about getting in trouble. They care about what they want. I'm not saying Mojang's bad. I love Mojang. This game is probably my favorite game ever. But there's something corrupt about it. Something very corrupt. well, that's gonna end off the video, guys. If you enjoyed, remember, please subscribe. And if this video can get 10 likes, I'll make another Minecraft mystery.